Who doesn't want to be a billionaire? Everybody aspires to be rich, but few are really able to accumulate extraordinary wealth. Watch till the end and you will know if you have what it takes. The 2,668 billionaires on Forbes' 2022 World's Billionaires list have established their fortunes in all sorts of ways: building computers and clothing brands, mining copper and zinc, making eyeglasses, developing real estate empires. Some created new riches, some inherited old ones. But many on the list have something in common: they made their fortunes in the world of finance or inherited such wealth. Assuming that the number of US billionaires will continue to increase at its historic rate of 6% annually, there will be more than 4,800 American billionaires by 2050, or 1 billionaire for every 91,000 people of the projected 439 million total US population. Dreams of becoming a billionaire may not be as far-fetched as once believed. To become a self-made billionaire, you must have to follow a few basic rules. Much of the success will have nothing to do with money, and the most crucial part is that the journey has to begin with the right mindset. Focus on your goals of achieving success rather than focusing on money, and wealth will follow automatically. If you know what you want, you should strive to attain it and not get sidetracked by less important matters. Following your passion probably won't be enough, but it will get you a long way.
When my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch. And we showered at the YMCA, and we're so hot up we had just one computer, so the website was up during the day and I was coding at night, 7 days a week, all the time. And I sort of briefly had a girlfriend in that period, and in order to be with me, she had to sleep in the office. So work hard, like every waking hour. That's the thing I would say, particularly if you're starting a company. And I mean, if you do simple math, say like, okay, if somebody else is working 50 hours and you're working 100, you'll get twice as much done in the course of a year as the other company.
By setting highly defined short-term and long-term goals with strict deadlines, you can figure out precisely what you want and how to get there. While most ordinary people want to lead an ultimate comfortable life, self-made billionaires push beyond the average and believe in creating their own opportunities. Be clear with your vision, what you want to eliminate from your current life, and what you need to add over the next few years. Keep your eye on the bigger, more motivating reward, and let yourself be continually driven and inspired to achieve that. Expand your focus from short-term successes to long-term plans of how you want your life to be shaped.
When you look at successful people, you have talked to everyone in the world who is successful. What would you say is the one common characteristic that you find gets people to where they want to go?
The most important question is the people get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go.
Oh, wow.
Most people don't know where they want to go. Most people, a lot of people, are going and being driven by what they think they should do,
right,
what other people say they should do, what they have carried in their mind for a long time they should do. But the most important question you can ever ask yourself is, what do I really want?
Wow.
And the answer to that, once you can establish for yourself what the answer to that is, and have everything you do, every choice you make, move you in the direction of what you say your vision is.
Right.
Yeah. And when you do that, the forces of life rise up to meet you. The reason why most people have such chaotic lives is because they're living in chaos in their head.
Without taking risks and overcoming fear, you would never become a self-made billionaire. While deciding the risk factor, ask yourself what the worst-case scenario can be. Evaluate the costs versus rewards before jumping. If you can survive the worst that could happen and the most likely thing to happen will get you closer to your goals, then go for it. What can you bring to the world that is unique, compelling, and helpful, with the ability to change lives and create a new business? Don't try to copy what has worked for other people. Concentrate on discovering what the world wants and needs.
Hello, I'm Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft.
At age 19, Bill Gates was one of the first to recognize that personal computers could revolutionize business, education, communications, and entertainment if their operation could be simplified so that everyone could use them. This led to the founding of Microsoft. Bill Gates never took a day off during his 20s while building Microsoft because of his obsession with the success of Microsoft. No person achieves billionaire status alone, everyone needs help along the way. Just as Gates had Paul Allen and then Steve Ballmer beside him building Microsoft. Similarly, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak led Apple in the beginning. Warren Buffett has worked with Charles Munger since 1975.
It seems like the most successful founders are sort of obsessed. Like they care a little bit too much about certain things, right? Like Steve Jobs cared a little bit too much about how perfect the edges of some polygon were, right? What is it that you care too much about?
Connecting everyone. No, seriously, if you think about, I mean, it's like this aesthetic sense of the world that I have is that communities of people can channel their energy to do great things, and having connections between people is the infrastructure for the world to do that. And I mean, that's why at each step along the way, when there was always all this uncertainty about, whether it would be profitable or whether it would make sense or be good or whatever, to do these things, we always were doing it because we just cared more. And I mean, to this day, I mean, you could say that was a startup thing, but it isn't, because I mean, now we're here and we connect more than 1 billion people, but I mean, we're pouring tons of money and resources into connecting people who can't even afford internet access, right? So, I mean, that's like, there's no way that that's going to be profitable in the near term or medium term, but we're doing it because we think it's the right thing to do, and over the long term, I do think that there's something there and it's going to be fundamentally important for the world, and maybe we'll get rewarded, maybe not, but we just really care.
Obsession creates solutions and innovation. Constant focus on a particular issue creates solutions and better ways to do things. It's how people come up with new technology and implement ideas that no one thought possible because they focused on one thing and said no to the others until finally they got their results. If you give something your all, you will receive the reward of the activity in full, good or bad. While everyone is away doing something different, obsession would have you thinking about the goals you've set and how every moment can take you a step closer to your goals. At some point, when you need something bad enough, everything else would feel like a waste of time and a distraction. So, you do everything possible not to spend too much time on activities that don't lead to your desired results.
Well, there's a ton of failures along the way, that's for sure. Like I said, as I said, for SpaceX, the first 3 launches failed.
And we actually were just barely able to scrape together enough parts and money to do the fourth launch. If that fourth launch had failed, we would have been dead. So multiple failures along the way. I tried very hard to get the right expertise in for SpaceX. I tried hard to find a great chief engineer for the rocket, but the good chief engineers wouldn't join, and the bad ones, well, there was no point in hiring them. So I ended up being chief engineer of the rocket. So if I could have found somebody better, then we would have maybe had less than 3 failures.